Good morning, everyone. It's Rose Coleman coming to you live from my craft room here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And today is Friday, and I'm excited because we have our Fun Fold Friday card today. And I'm continuing on with the Hats Off bundle. Oh my heavens, you guys, I have had so much fun creating cards with this bundle, and I'm not done yet. There is so much you can do with this fun bundle. And today I have a fun fold for you, and I'm going to feature some new designer series paper and one of my favorite color families that I tend to resonate to. I love, love, love the Regals. They have so many beautiful colors in this, not Regals, I'm sorry, it's Neutrals. I meant to say Neutrals. Neutrals has everything that you need, right? Like it has blues and it has Mary Merlot, which is a color that is gorgeous, and I haven't used it that much, so I need to start using that one more because it's such a rich color. Mossy Meadow, Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, all of those beautiful classic neutral colors, right, that we can pair with any of the Stampin' Up! Colors and make beautiful color combinations. Good morning, Carol. Thank you for joining me. Good to have you with me. I've got my coffee here in my Disney mug, and I've got a busy day ahead of me. We have Super Stamp Monthly tomorrow. It's a class that we do. I do it with 4 other ladies on my team, so there's 5 of us, and we do it on Zoom, and that's happening tomorrow. And I have a few people here in the city. I have people all across Canada join me on this class. So today I'm delivering the people that are here in the city, and I've got to get those out. So my husband and I are going to drive around, drop off some packages, and then come home and relax. So it's been a busy week, but it's been a great week, I must say. So I've got a fun card fold for you guys today. Thank you all for popping on. I'm just sitting here with my coffee waiting for people to join me, and then I'll flip the camera and share this card with you. This card, like any other fun fold, hi Joan, thanks for joining me. This card, like any other fun fold, can be adjusted and changed, altered with any kind of designer series paper. Doesn't have to be used with the Hats Off bundle, of course. You can change it up. So I am going to put my coffee down now, and we're going to get started. It takes a while sometimes for Facebook to pop into everybody's news feeds and for people to join. So that's why I like to have a little chat with you in the morning with my coffee here. Hi, Heather from St. John's. Thank you for joining me. It's lunchtime for you, right? Yeah, it's that time difference gets me every time. Good morning, Angela. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for popping in. It's Friday. Yay. I just caught my husband out of the corner of my eyes walking across the yard with the garbage. And it just startled me for a second. It's like, oh, there's somebody in the yard. Oh my. You never know what's going on in the yard, because I look out at my yard and sometimes there's like birds flying around, and we've had these really enormous bees, like about this big. Like, I'm not kidding you. These bees have been flying around because I guess everything's starting to bloom now. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Kay. And I've had this bee, I don't know if it's the same one, obviously it's not, but it's been buzzing around my window, and it like ding, ding, it'll actually like hit the window. I'm like, oh my heavens, thank God there's a window there, because I do not like bees. So all these people, all these things, critters, and my husband spooking me out here in front of me while I'm trying to do my video. Hi, Lorraine. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera now. Let's get started. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to straighten you up here. So there's my work surface, and you can see that ball cap. I love, love, love that ball cap. I can't get enough of it. This is the Hats Off bundle, and it is the bundle that you will get in my online class if you sign up for my online class. Now, this class is going to end on Tuesday, on June 1st, so you want to grab your spot in this class. It is a class that you do from the comfort of your own home, but I want you to get your bundle before Tuesday so that you can get your projects in time to make Father's Day cards or any kind of masculine cards. So this is a limited time class. It's an online class. It's $47.50 plus shipping and tax in your province. And the way it works is you go onto my online store and you order this bundle, and then I send you all of the cut pieces to make 4 cards, okay? And they are not the cards I've shown you this week. They are exclusive only to this class. So the only way to get these cards is to purchase this bundle in my online store with the host code. So I will post that again at the end of my video. This is on your wish list, is it, Kay? Yeah, it is a keeper. It is a must-have for sure. Okay, so when you get your bundle, you'll be able to die cut your own ball caps and your layers, and you can follow along with my video. I will send you a private link to a video where it'll be just like we're crafting together, and we can make these cards together. Okay, so let's get started. Today what I'm using, I've got the ball cap, and I mentioned to you that I was going to show you one of my favorite color families is the neutrals. And with the new catalog, we have new designer series paper in all of the color families, and this is the Mossy Meadow from the neutrals, and I went ahead and cut that with the large ball cap, and isn't that awesome? I just love it. It's like a plaid ball cap, and I know I've seen my husband has one very similar, and I know my dad loves this color too, so it's definitely one that I'll be using for my family for sure. Now let me show you the paper. So you get the pattern paper comes in a 6x6 pad, and you get all of the colors that are in that color family, and we have new patterns with our new in color, or our new catalog. All of these patterns are brand new. Okay, so we've got this one here with the little dots and the lines, and then the flip side is the squares or the little hexagons, and then we've got our plaid, which is the one I used with the Mossy Meadow here, and then the flip side of that one is this one with the little diamonds or little pattern on it. So it's beautiful, beautiful paper, you guys. You get 4 sheets of every single color in the entire color family. So you'll get all of the ones that I'm holding here are neutrals, but you can pick any color family you want. And off to my side here are my Mossy Meadow, Early Espresso, and there's that Mary Merlot color. Oh, I love that. It's beautiful. Okay, so we're going to use this on our card today. This is the 6x6 Neutrals pack. If you're looking for that, it is in the catalog, and it is $15.75 for a whole package, and you'll have all your colors in your family. So what a great idea to grab a package of this, grab a package of your multi-pack of 8.5 by 11, and if you're a scrapbooker, you can also grab a package of 12 by 12. You will have all your colors in that family. Just, do one family at a time and build your collection, and then you'll have lots of designer series paper to play with. Okay, so I've got my ball cap. Now, yesterday I did the ball cap, and was it yesterday? No, it was the day before. I did this one. I did this ball cap. Now I made more of a feminine card, and I played along with the Global Design Challenge, and this is the new soft, oh my goodness, what's it called? Pale papaya. Pale papaya color. So you can make female hats. So I made this one, You're the Best, and then I made this one with Go Team on it, You're the Best. So I just wanted to show you, these were cut just using the designer series paper, and I didn't stamp. But the stamp set, you guys, is photopolymer. Okay, so it's like this, and it is, our photopolymer, and you can see through it. So I'm just going to stamp. Today I'm going to stamp on top of this and show you how that looks. So let's grab our stamp here, and I've got to grab a big block. This is block E I'm using to mount my stamp, and I'm going to use my Memento ink. And if I have a big stamp like this, I like to take my Memento ink and ink it from the top. So I'll hold the ink pad in my hand, and then I'll just go around like this and tap, tap, tap all the way around and make it nice and juiced up. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my stamp, and I'm going to lower down and hover over top. Hopefully my head's not in the camera, but we're just going to try and do our best here. And stamp over top. So you can go ahead and do your die cuts ahead of time and do your stamping later. And then you can peel it off because it does stick to the photopolymer. But there you can see that is what it looks like when you stamp. So there's one cut out of designer series paper and stamped, and this is one that has not been stamped. So you do get that, the lines and everything on your die cut after you stamp it. So we're going to leave that one. That's our ball cap. Now we also have, I cut out this shape out of crumb cake, and I'm going to stamp the dad stamp on there, right? Because I'm going to make a dad card today. So I've got my stamp here with dad on it. I'm going to use Early Espresso from the Neutrals family. I'm going to use that. I'm going to stamp over top of that little tag for my hat. I'll show you all the other pieces I have here and how this fun fold card is going to come together. All right, so I'm just going to ink this up and I'm going to just stamp right on top of the crumb cake like that. And let's go ahead and stick that on so then I don't lose it and I know where it is. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here right on the hat, and we'll put that tag or label on our ball cap. This is a dad cap. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a bit, and we're going to go on to the rest of our card. So for the rest of my card, the pieces that I have are a piece of basic white, and this one is not cut right. Let me just trim this down. So it's supposed to be basic white 1 inch by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to pop this into my paper trimmer and trim that up. So basic white 5 1/4 by 1 inch. And then I also have another piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, that's going to be for the inside of my card. I have a piece of the Mary Merlot Designer Series paper that measures 3 1/4 inches by 3 inches. So almost a square, but not quite. It's 3 1/4 by 3. And then I have these 3 little die cuts. And let me put them on the basic white and show you a close up what they look like. These are included. They come with the ball cap dies, and we have a tree, a little caribou, and a fish, right? So fun. So let me just grab those dies and show you what you get. So you get all these little ones that are just great. You get a star, a fish, a tree, caribou, or a buffalo, whatever you want to call it, and a little lightning bolt. So lots and lots of fun. Not just the big die, right? And you get your little ball cap and then these other label ones. So those are the dies. I've got these cut. So for our fun fold, we've got to work with our piece of early espresso. Now this is a piece of cardstock. So it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Let me just double check that I've got that right. Yes. So you cut your cardstock in half just like you would if you were making a regular card. Let's just move these things over here. And I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. Okay. So on my paper cutter, on the side, you don't have to do this, but I did it for reference, just so you guys could see what I did here. I just put 2 little sticky notes here, and I put one at 2 1/2 and one at the 7 1/2 inch mark. Okay, so on the arm of the paper trimmer, flips up here like this. Oh, it's stuck. Okay, so on your arm, you can, and did you guys know this arm comes off? You can just stretch it up here a little bit and you can pop this arm right off. There's a little tab here and a little tab here. It comes right out. So if you get glue or anything on your arm, you can take it off and you can clean it, okay? So this pops right off of your paper trimmer. And we have our light gray attachment is our scoring blade and our dark one is our cutting blade, okay? So you could take this off if you wanted to label it properly. You could put a little mark on here with a Sharpie and then wipe it off with an alcohol marker. I just put sticky notes to indicate where my 2 1/2 inch mark is and my 7 1/2 inch mark. It's a little pen line here, but I find when it's on, it's like this and it's got the white background, I can't really see the increments. I don't know, my eyes are getting old or whatever, but I just put these little sticky notes on here. Okay, so let's pop this back in. I just pop it in there and at the bottom, and now my arm is on and it's good to go. Okay, so we're going to take our piece of early espresso and we're going to put it into the paper trimmer with the short end at the top, and I'm going to line it up at the 3 1/2 inch mark over here. Okay, so at 3 1/2 inches, and then I'm just going to make sure it's all even. Then I'm going to close my arm down. I want to make sure my score tool is out of the way. I don't need that right now. We're going to be cutting. So we're going to take the cutting blade and I'm going to line up with that line that I made on the top mark. And I'm going to push it in and it'll pierce the cardstock. Now let me show you close up again what I'm doing. So on our blade, we have the center. Can you see that little tiny line? I'm lining that up with the line on my arm. So that's where I want to start, and that is where the blade is. The blade is actually right here in the center of this little triangle. That's where I'm piercing my cardstock. So now I'm going to hold my paper down with one hand. I'm going to gently pull this blade back, and I'm going to stop at that other mark that I made on my other sticky note right there. Okay, so then when I lift this up, what I've got is a slit. I've cut a slit from the 2.5 inch mark down to the 7.5 inch mark. Now I want to score, so I'm going to take my cutting blade, push it out of the way. I love the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer that it has these sections at both ends that you can just get one or the other out of the way and you don't have to worry. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take the cardstock, take it out. I want that cut blade to be line to be at the bottom here. I'm going to pop this back into my paper trimmer, and I'm going to do some score lines here. So I'm going to score this, and I'm going to be scoring down here at the bottom. Okay, there's only one score line that is going to go all the way across. The rest of the lines are going to be down here in this bottom section, this little skinny section down here. Okay, that's important. You don't want to be scoring up here, and you'll see why when I put this card together. So I'm putting this back in with the slit at the bottom, and I'm just going to line it up here at 1 1/4, and I'm going to score up to that score line, up to the cut line. So 1 1/4. I'm going to slide it over to 2 inches, 3 1/8 of an inch, 4 1/4. Now the 4 1/4, I'm going all the way across my card. That's going to be my middle score line, so because we have to be able to fold this in half to fit it into an envelope. I'm going to extend out my arm because I want to line it up with 6 1/8 of an inch. And again, I'm only doing up to the cut line. Okay. So again, if you were writing this down, it's 1 1/4, 2 inches, 3 1/8, all the way across at 4 1/4, and then 6 1/8. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 score lines. Okay. So we're done with the paper trimmer. I'm going to get that out of the way here. And I'm going to show you how to fold this up. So this is my middle score line, which is going to fold this way. The easiest way to do it is to fold that. And then this one right here next to it, the same score line on that 4 1/4, is going to fold down. Okay. So we've got the top one going up and the other one going down as a valley. And then these ones here, we just need to accordion fold. Okay. So we're going to just fold that one in, and this front one is going to fold up. I'll show you. There we go. So we've got a little accordion going on here, and then we've got our center score line here. And then bring in your bone folder and just reinforce all of those score lines to make them nice and crisp. This will help your card stand up properly. There we go. Okay, so it's called a center step card or a side step card, and you can do this many different ways. I adjusted mine. I came up with my own measurement because I wanted this piece to be a bit bigger. So when I put it into my paper cutter, I did cut my that original cut line right here. I cut it because I wanted it to be a bigger spot here because I want my ball cap to fit there. So depending on what you're putting on this card, you can adjust where you cut that score line, or cut that cut line. The score lines will be the same. It's just a matter of figuring out what you want for this side right here and what you want to fit there. Okay, so this is my base of my card here. It's going to fold like this, and it'll still fit in our regular size envelope. Okay, so we've got our ball cap. We have our piece of Designer Series paper. Our Mary Merlot is going to fit right up here, so I'll go ahead and put that down. And the rest is really decorating and, you know, enhancing this card with all the fun stuff, right? So once you get the actual bases of the card down, you're good to go. So I'm just going to put this Mary Merlot on here like this. And then that piece, that 1 inch by 5 1/4 is going to sit here at the bottom of my card, and we're going to do some stamping on there. So from the stamp set, I have this one here. It says, "You are the best," right? Because whose dad is not the best, right? So I've got "You are the best," and I'm going to bring in my matching Mary Merlot card, ink, not cardstock, ink. This is Mary Merlot, which I have not used. I have not given Mary Merlot all the love that it deserves because it is a beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, so we're going to stamp that on the left-hand side of this strip like that. And with my die cuts, remember I was showing you the little buffalo or caribou, whichever you want to call it, and the fish and the tree. I'm going to put them right here. So I'm just going to bring in some glue, flip them over, and put those onto the other side of this strip. So let's get my glue going here. And we'll stick those down. So we'll put the tree down first. We're just going to stick them on. So one tree and our buffalo, caribou, whichever you want to call it, and our fish right here. And the beauty of the multi-purpose glue is I can move it. I'm going to make room for that fish to fit there. There we go. Okay, they're stuck down. Now we can go ahead and put this right onto our card. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so we're going to put this on the front, on the bottom, down here like this. Then we can go ahead, let's go ahead and put our ball cap on. It's going to sit right there. Just need to grab some dimensionals to pop that up. So I'm going to grab, I think 3 is good. You can kind of get it balanced good with 3 dimensionals. So we're going to put that on top of the Mary Merlot layer right here. So be careful when you put your ball cap down that you don't go off the edge, because you want to make sure you're staying within the dimensions of the card so that you can still fit it in the envelope, right? So there's our ball cap. Now, these little panels here, these little steps, we can decorate those. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I didn't cut those little ones. Okay, we'll do that quickly. Using the same designer series paper, I'm going to use my piece here. So I cut my ball cap out. You could get probably 4 ball caps out of one 6x6 piece, right? So I don't want to waste anything. So I'm just going to snip around here and use up my little edges. And I'm going to use these to cut some trees. So I'm going to use this piece, and let's grab the little tree die. And I'm going to grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to cut some little tiny trees. Good morning, Linda. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I've got my little Mini Boss here. Mini Boss makes life so easy to just whip up some die cuts. So I'm going to put my platform on. We got number 1, and then our number 2. And then we've got our die cut piece, our designer series paper. And because it's such a small die, I'm going to split this in half and make a double layer, because you can cut through 2 pieces at a time. So let's go ahead and do that. Run that through. I love this little machine. It makes my life so easy. It just sits on the side of my desk here and doesn't take up much room. Okay, so I've got that one. I got 2 of those out of pattern paper. Yes. And I'm going to grab a little tiny piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock, and let's make one out of cardstock too. All right, so I've got my little piece here. And if you're making one, you might as well make 2, because you can cut through. Now, I don't recommend cutting through 2 pieces of cardstock if it's a detailed die, but if you have a die that just has the edges, okay? So what I mean by that is this is just a tree. There's no detailing, there's no little finicky little parts, no holes, that type of stuff. Anything like that, you're going to just want to do 1 layer at a time, okay? But I know that I can get through 2 layers with this. And I'm just going forward and back. And we're just going to cut some trees. All right, so we've got Mossy Meadow trees here too. So let's move our machine off to the side here. You can pop up the sides, and it takes up like no room at all. Look at this. For reference, look, it's like the size of my hand. It is so cute, this little machine. Okay, let's go ahead and bring back our card base. I also want to do, because I'm using little trees, and I want to do some big trees as well. We have a punch, you guys. This punch stayed. It is our, I can't remember if it's called, what is it called? I think it's called a pine punch. I gotta look. It stayed in our catalog, as well as the stamp set that coordinates with it. And let me grab that. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember the name of the stamp set. Somebody help me out. Do you guys remember the name of this stamp set? Plaid. Perfectly Plaid. That's it. Okay. Here it is. I have all my stamps in alphabetical order, so it's easy to grab, but I just had to remember the name of the stamp set. So this stayed in the annual catalog, you guys, and the matching punch is also still in the catalog. So I was super happy about that. And I'm just going to show you where that punch is. It is on page 150, and it's called Pine Tree up here at the top. So we're going to use the Pine Tree. I'm not going to use the stamp set, but you totally could use it. I just want to use the paper today and the punch. So I'm going to punch a couple of trees, okay? So I'm going to punch one with the plaid. I'm going to punch two, but we're going to flip them and show both sides of this DSP on our card base. Let's put this little die back before I lose it. Little things tend to fly away. I don't know if you guys have that issue when you're crafting and you have little tiny dies out. You definitely want to take care of them and, you know, make sure they go back to where they're supposed to be. So on this back panel, I'm going to put a little bit of multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to put one of the trees here on top. And again, I'm making sure I don't go off the edge of this border for my card, because I do want to be able to fit it in a regular size envelope. And then I'm just going to take this tree and I'm going to tuck it down here and just kind of make it a little bit lower. And I flipped it around so we're showcasing both sides of the DSP on these trees. There we go. So that's going to be the back panel. And then I'm just going to take the little trees and I'm going to make a little layer of trees here in the front. So I'm just going to put little dabs of glue. Easy peasy. Doesn't need to be complicated. I'm just going to put my little plaid ones there on the sides and a mossy meadow one in the middle, and then another one right here. There we go. So we've got like a little forest going on, right? My dad, I remember as a kid, I remember him, he would always go hunting in September when it was moose hunting season. He would go and like, he loved to hunt and fish, and he would take us girls trouting. We would walk with our rubber boots on and like the old fashioned, you know, with a pole, fishing pole. And he'd always take us trouting. So anything to do with nature totally reminds me of my dad. So this piece that I have here measures 2.5 by 5 1/4. Now it's going to sit on the inside. So let's just open this card up here, and that's going to sit right down here on the inside like that. And the stamp set has other stamps we can use. So there's this one that coordinates with the little die cut if you want to cut it out, but you don't have to die cut it. You can use it the way it is, right? So it has some trees on it. So I think this fits. So let's go ahead and stamp that on the inside. I'm using Mossy Meadow ink. Stamp that right there. And then there's also this stamp set that says, I'm your #1 fan. I love that. So I'm going to stamp that with Mary Merlot right here. There we go. And I think that's good. You can also stamp, you know, I did this on one of the cards I did this week. There's a little star in the stamp. There's a #1. To the guy that wears many hats. Here's to the next adventure. That would also work in here. This one would work. Like all of these stamps would work with it, with any, like I love that they coordinate with one another. So let's flip this over and we're going to put this on the inside of our card. Get my glue going here. And come on. Sometimes the glue needs a little convincing. Whoop. Oh, there we go. Or a lot of convincing. If that happens, no big deal. You can just grab a Q-tip or something and just, because that's going to ooze out the sides. So that's way too much glue. I don't need that much glue. So I'm going to just skim off some of this here so that I don't have a lot of glue to deal with oozing out the sides. Okay. So there we go. We've got our, I was squeezing it a little too hard. Sometimes what happens with the multi-purpose glue is it dries on the tip and you need to pull off the little bit dried bits, and then you'll be able to not be so forceful. But I was just really trying to get it to work. I know there's lots of glue in there. Okay, so now I've got stuff stuck to my fingers. Okay, so this is... Okay, let me grab a baby wipe and clean up my fingers best I can. I love my multi-purpose glue, but when it gets on your fingers, guys, you gotta go to the bathroom and use a loofah or whatever you call it, like one of those scrubby tools, and get it off, because it will stay on your fingers all day. That is true testament to how well this glue works. Okay, so we're gonna stick this down on your #1 fan on the inside of the card. And there we have it. There we have it. We have our sidestep card. Whoops, make sure I got it folded right. So there's our fun card for Dad with a little forest going on here on the sides. And our inside, you could add more pieces to the inside, cut another piece of DSP up here, up here. I mean, possibilities are endless, right, for this fun fold. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Carol. Thanks for so much. I also love the Pine Tree Punch, Lorraine. Yes, I'm so excited that it stayed, because it's going to be another great one that we can use again at Christmas time, right? And it's not just a Christmas stamp set. I mean, you can use all of these trees for every day, right? So I'm just going to flip you around now. Bear with me. Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks for all the love. And thanks for sharing my video with your friends. The more people that see the video can fall in love with stamping, and that's what it's all about for me, right? Sharing my love of stamping. And so today is Friday. On Tuesday, it's June 1st, so that means Monday, you guys, is the last day to take advantage of the Join Plus special. So if you have been eyeing a lot of stuff in this new catalog and you have a big wish list and you're not a demonstrator, you can get the starter kit for $135, okay? But you get to pick $206 worth of product. I keep talking about it because it's the best deal on the planet. It truly is. Like $206, yeah, I've got that on my wish list for sure. So, but you're only going to pay $135, no shipping, no GST, no tax, right? So Stampin' Up's taking care of all of that. Did you also know that you get a paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit? They just throw that in complimentary. Everybody gets an extra little paper, not little, but the full-size paper pumpkin kit. You just don't know which one you're getting. It's a surprise. So once you get that, you can start creating, sharing with your friends and family. It's the best deal. So I want to invite you, if you live in Canada and you're not a demonstrator yet, or you've gone inactive and you want to come back, it's time to come back and get all of the great things in this catalog. Plus, Celebration is coming up in the summer, you guys. Again, they're doing a second Celebration, the first time ever, and you don't want to miss out on that, right? So if you are signing up, you're going to get that stuff at a discount, and it's so easy to stay active. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about that. I don't want to talk your head off, because I could talk for days about the benefits of being a demonstrator. You guys know me. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you will have a great weekend, a great Friday, and I'll be back on Monday, same time, 9 o'clock here on my Stamping with Rose Facebook page. And take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.